it's interesting because if you think about all the stuff you share when you're married, not everybody shares everything, but many people share many things. And the longer you've been married, the more you usually share, right? Could be bank accounts, could be property, could be cars, could be retirement accounts for each individuals. You know, just everything that you have in your marital financial world, right? So usually what that looks like is, you know, if you have joint accounts, people are opening up a new bank account. There's nothing wrong with that. The thing is, we need a copy of the new account paperwork because we have to source where your new account is. And so, you know, you go to the bank and you get the paperwork and you just shove it in the corner because you're dealing with something else, but I need that paperwork. And so it feels kind of invasive when I'm asking for like, oh, and I need your account opening things, but we just need them. So save them, put them in a pile. This is, you know, this is the stuff you're gonna need. If you sell property, and I need a purchase and sale agreement that says, I'm agreeing to sell this property to this person. That's pretty obvious with property, but we also need a copy of the check that came in, because obviously you're going to put that in an account. So then we have to source the deposit. If you sell a car, I need a purchase and sale agreement for the car. You don't have to do that outside of real life, although it's always a good idea. But it's, you know, you say to the seller, like, or the buyer, dear buyer, I'm going to sell you my car. This is my name. This is my VIN number. This is the amount I'm selling it to you for. Please sign this. And then you get signed, right? And then you sign over your title, take a copy of the title, and then you send it into the DOL, right? And we need the paperwork that shows that title transferred. So it's kind of a pain, really, to do all that, but we need to show where the money came from. And that kind of goes back to, we talked about this in a previous video, but as a lender, we're accountable to the government to make sure that you are not laundering money and you're not taking out loans that we don't know about, because we have to count those in your debt load, right? So if you have money coming into your account, there's 20,000 that just landed in your account because you sold a car, but you don't have record of the sale of it, then we have to back that money out. Anything like a car, an RV, anything motorcycle that you're going to sell and get cash for, please get an agreement with the seller signed. It can be written on a piece of paper, doesn't have to be fancy. And then, you know, just get the paperwork step by step that shows, you know, take a copy of the cashier's check, or if it's, I guess if it's, a lot of times it's cash. Ideally, it would be a cashier's check that you receive from the buyer. Oh, usually you're transferring money back and forth between spouses, right? So we're going to need that spouse's bank account to show that the money's been transferred. So just tell them ahead of time, you know, so they're not surprised, because maybe they don't want to give you their bank statements. Usually you don't want to hold off on doing the transfers, because usually you want to be done. You don't want to be like, my marital settlement agreement is now signed off by the judge and we still share a joint account of $100,000. That's not usually what people want. Usually people are like, and now we're done.